You might remember last time I showed you how this episode began. I'm not going to show you it again, because I love you, and this show hates you. Unfortunately, you're going to see a lot of disgusting stuff, and this is because it's the Season 1 finale. So the good news is, it's over. Well, halfway over. There's another season. It somehow gets worse. I don't know how, but it does. I'm gonna need so much therapy after this is over. Anyhow, the episode begins with, well, killer babies. You know, Mad TV did it way better.
I guess she was trying to get to that hose over there. Maybe hose the babies off? But she never made it.
She never made it. It's an expression we hear far too often when it comes to baby attacks.
Some of you might be wondering, okay, what the hell does utot mean in Indonesian? Well, utot, and I'm not entirely sure I'm pronouncing it right, but it means flatulence. It means farts. So, titty boy and kid fart. This is the level of creativity we're dealing with here.
Time to go save the day, kid.
Bling!
That is the whitest thing I've ever seen this show do. And I'm from West Simsbury. I know whiteness.
Having a baby without a cantot action?
What the hell is
This
going
is a
on?
fetish cartoon. There is no other explanation for this.
The day of the dick man shall soon be at hand.
Okay, not content to rip off superhero films, now you're just trying to rip off James Bond with this obvious imitation of Blofeld, the supervillain stroking the big white cat, yeah, and of course the monocle and everything. It's very obvious. You know what I could be watching instead of this?
I've looked forward to this moment, Mr. Bond. I intend to enjoy it to the full.
I'm being dead serious. Even that poor imitation of Blofeld would be a better watch than this. But I'll bet you want to know what the villain's plan is.
When an army is born, I will control Daly City. Then, I will start the revolution and claim Daly City as its own country.
Wait a minute, that's a ripoff of Family Guy's Pretoria. I could just be watching that. That's an actually good episode.
I didn't know what to bring, so I made coleslaw. It's made out of people. Just kidding.
Oh, but it's about to get worse, because now we cut to our heroes doing a cockfight. And as if having Hispanic people doing cockfighting isn't racist enough, oh no, one of the roosters has to be black. Get it? Fried chicken, black people. Anyway, after wasting a solid minute of nothing but pointless cockfighting designed to pad out the episode's runtime, we get this. Obvious He-Man reference, because it existed. And now for the most obvious joke you can see coming in 3, 2, 1.
God, macaque got circumcised.
Boo! Boo!
Holy balls!
You know, they really are going all the way to get as disgusting and foul and outlandish as possible. I suppose I should give them credit for that. I won't! Because of course they have a buttmobile. Because of course they do. And of course that's how they get inside it. Of course it is. And of course that's how it looks. Of course it is. And of course that's how they'd start it up. Because how else would you do it? In case you thought all of this couldn't possibly get any more tasteless, wait 2 seconds. Oh, that's right. They went there. They went there with bells on.
That's 100% Kabbalah.
Who wrote this episode? Who wrote this episode? I want their names. The first guy who worked on this show, who gives me their names, gets to live. This is disgusting. This is utterly tasteless. There is no merit, there is no humor, it's just shock for shock's sake. And I'm sorry, but it's gonna get even worse!
Huh? Oh, snap! My crotch be talking to me, son. Right here. Hold up a second. What the hell is this?
I know what that is.
What the fuck?
It's a birth control.
Why? Why are you eating that, dummy?
Wait. There's something else. I'm detecting a foreign substance.
Huh?
And you couldn't just bring that to your supercomputer because why? Unfortunately, the baby abuse is not yet done. Why am I showing you this clip? Well...
Quick, think of a joke!
That was the second worst thing I've ever seen on film involving a newborn baby. The worst thing is, of course, this.
I am so sorry you had to see that. Let's cut to the only good voice actor in this entire cartoon.
I don't even know how this happened.
Oh, really? Because you got a really sweet racking donkey. Oh!
She's had it up to here.
Plants are starting to take shape, Bulbul. Soon, Daily Pinos will be sucker-free. And we will go straight into the future.
I remind you that this guy was a better Blofeld, and he went out like a little bitch. Just when I think this show can't possibly get any more repulsive. I'd like to remind you all, this supervillain is somehow still more lame than this guy.
We can do a deal. I'll buy you a delicatessen in stainless steel.
But because we need more baby abuse, but now from the villain, we get this.
Bulbul, kill! Kill, Bulbul, kill!
Okay, first the big belly thing, and now the eating of babies. Multiple times. Clearly, this episode was written by a vorophiliac. I can't think of any other explanation. And if you need an explanation as to what a vorophiliac is, you really don't want to know what vor is.
Daily City, man. That's my home base, boy. Ghost Ride mode engaged.
Let me explain to you what happens in the next 2 to 3 minutes. Riding a giant penis, our heroes fire superpowered plasma semen at waves and waves of clone babies, killing them all. I'm not kidding you. This is a thing that happens in this show. And I'm not going to show you it. Because I love you. And this show hates you. So let's move past that disgusting crap and back into the other disgusting crap. And now, because we haven't had enough toilet humor in this episode,
Like Chinatown, TT boy.
I'm not surprised the solution to their problem came right out of his ass. That's where the writers seem to pull out their ideas out from.
So why you're called Kiddle Tut?
Got it, old chum.
Huh? Who's that?
What's he gonna do? Well, I like you too much to show you, but here's a little hint from Bridesmaids.
What did we eat? Things
Anyway, it's time for the big fight scene, as our heroes must now fight out all these baby goons. And it's just as over-the-top and ridiculous and tasteless as you'd think.
Oh, snap! Oh, no! What the hell are they saying, kid?
I think they said they're gonna make us eat their eggs. Hey! Leave me alone!
You know, instead of watching this disgusting display of gas, I could be going to watch Happy Death Day again, which actually had a funny scene involving farts. Seriously, just go see Happy Death Day instead of this.
I think we need
But eventually the babies just completely outnumber them and overwhelm them, and they have no choice but, well...
Well, bring out the gimp.
No, seriously, their butler turns into a gimp. And this is only the second worst example of this joke I've ever seen, in regards to the whole, oh, her, the Alfred character is gay thing. What's the worst Alfred is gay joke I've seen? Well...
They're all fucking Batman. At Wayne Manor, in the Batcave, Butler Alfred is our love slave. Riddle me this, holy bathhouse, I'm fucking Amy Winehouse.
You know what, actually, I prefer Disaster Movie. At least half of the annoying cast was dead at the end of that crap.
Oh, go!
This is it. This is the epitome of tastelessness. In next scene, I am not kidding you, an obvious parody of Jason Voorhees with giant green balls jumps around, smushing babies into big, bloody, fleshy piles. Over and over, in graphic detail. I'm not kidding you. And this disgusting bit of baby-killing action goes on for a long time, so I'm just gonna skip right to the end. And if you were thinking, well, at least now it's over and it can't possibly get any worse than what we've just seen, well... yeah. Male pregnancy. Out the butt. And do you now understand why this show has the reputation that it has? The rock bottom reputation that it has. There is no talent, there is no intelligence, there is no creativity, there is nothing redeemable about this show. Every single episode just progressively gets worse and worse, more tasteless, more gross, more stupid, more trying to shock over trying to tell good stories. And the absolute worst part of all of this is only season 1. There were 2 seasons of this. I'm only halfway done. I'm only halfway done. God.
You play by yourself in the banyo when you think no one is knowing.